I'm Dave Ramsey. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast. Mayor is in Brooklyn, New York. Hi, Mayor. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Dave. Glad to talk to you.
You too. How can we help?
So I have a low voltage business. We do fire alarm and camera security for the last 6 years. We have currently 15 employees. My question was, how do I determine when to give a raise and how much to give as a raise? I treat my employees very well. But I started out, I had a vision how much I think they should make annual, like weekly.
Mm-hmm.
But I raised them very quickly, and it came to a point that I felt I can't raise them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't produce as much as I give them. But it comes up as like every year, end of the year, they say, what do I get for a raise?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you overpaying like a technician what the rest of the industry pays them? I mean, low voltage is everywhere, so there ought to be a standard for like let's say the person that installs the alarms, okay, a technician, right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, other alarm companies, other low voltage companies, what do they pay that technician and what do you pay them?
Good question. I'll have to check that in the industry.
Okay. One of the things we do, and I was talking about that in an earlier segment on this particular episode, is that we do a comp study, which you can jump on like monster.com or LinkedIn or different places and do it fairly easily. It doesn't require a ton of money to be spent, or you can just call around and ask, okay, what does this particular position pay in the Brooklyn, New York area? Okay, what does a typical person pulling wire in a low voltage pay, or what's someone who's certified to do alarm installations? What do they get paid on average? And you want to be at or slightly above that amount, but you don't want to be double that amount. Mm-hmm. Instead, I would be providing them other things, even some cash bonuses and things out of profits before I would just say that's your pay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, in other words, let's say you called around, I'll just make up it. What do you pay an alarm tech right now?
I started out with, depends his experience, if he's coming from a different or he's a beginner. Okay. But I started in the range right now between $1,200 and $1,500 a week.
Okay. All right. And so they're making like $70 a year?
Yes.
Okay. So you got an alarm tech making $70 a year, mid-range. And if you've got one that's been with you 10 years and 100% of the time or 98% of the time, you know that when they're doing something, A, they're doing it right, and B, they're doing it the way you would want it done, both things. Because right is okay, but the way I want it done and right is really important. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like how they treat the customer, how they dress, do they bathe, do they follow up and check on what's going on? If it's a builder they're working with on new construction, are they dependable? All those kinds of things, these are the things that come into it. But if you've got that for 10 years, that person is worth more than someone that has the exact same skill and knowledge and work ethic that starts tomorrow, that doesn't have the experience with you. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, for instance, my personal assistant, Patty, has been with me 21 years. Patty knows more about Dave Ramsey than Dave Ramsey does. Okay? She and my wife together could write a book that would destroy me. Okay? So Patty's value versus a personal assistant to the CEO of a company this size coming in brand new next week were Patty to retire, her value is light years more. So she gets paid a lot more than a personal assistant would get paid at this level, okay? But it's not just because we love Patty, it's because 21 years of knowledge base of who gets to see Dave, what Dave does, what Dave doesn't do. She's got a sign outside her office that says, "No one gets to see the wizard, no way, no how." All this kind of stuff. It's a big joke, we have a lot of fun with it. But the point is her experience is valuable inside of this company. So if you've got a and a bookkeeper that's been with you for 15 years, they're a lot more valuable than a new bookkeeper coming in to do just the exact same job. So if 70 is the number that it takes to hire somebody in the marketplace, let's say you do a survey of your competitors and you discover that 70 is about what the average going rate is. Then you would look around among your team and say, okay, this guy over here has been here for 10 years. He's worth more than 70 if he does his job properly. And if he doesn't do his job, we got other issues. You don't fix that with a raise or a cut. We fix that with talking him through how to do the job. But if he's a great team member, great alarm tech, and he's worth more than 70 to you, because you replace him with a brand new person, you got to start over on how Mayor runs the business, and that has a value. So I'm going to give that guy raises based on tenure, but not because of tenure, but because of what tenure represents, that he's been doing excellent work for a long period of time and is dependable. Okay. Then the second thing is I've got to compete in the marketplace or he will leave. If 70 is the going rate and I'm paying my guys 50, they're going to leave. You're not going to keep them. So you've got to be competitive in the marketplace in terms of what it takes to hire an alarm tech in your area. And so you need to be doing these a little bit of an informal or formal comp study on what these different positions are, and then pay them competitively. And then sometimes a competitor's still willing to overpay them. We had a guy in here not long ago that we felt like we were overpaying him, and some moron gave him $50,000 more than we're paying him. And we're like, oh, yeah, both of you deserve each other. So you need to, no way he's worth that. But they're just, somebody got stars in their eyes. So you're still going to lose some of them sometimes. But that's so we need to find out what it costs to fill the position and not have the competitor stealing our people, poaching our people, right? And then B, the longer they've been with you and have been competent, the more they are actually worth to you. And then C, if you want to pay them more than those rates that we're talking about, like that 10-year guy might be making 80 or 85 in a $70,000 world. That's fine, because again, he or she would be worth that. And then beyond that, if you've got extra profits and you want to start doing, okay, hey guys, there's 15 of us in here. We're making good money in this place. I'm just going to share some of it. And you can come up with some kind of a plan, and you don't have to explain to them what the percentages are. We have a profit sharing plan at Ramsey for a portion of our team members, and it is based on a formula that no one knows except me and my CFO and a few others. And because we change the formula sometimes to make it more generous or less generous depending on what's going on. But overall, we're going to share our profits. It's one of our core values. But that's not compensation. That's sharing. Compensation is you're getting paid for what you do and what you know. Sharing is we all did a bunch of work together, made some money, I'm going to share some of it. That's different than the comp plan. Corporate America gets those two things confused periodically.